It says you can't start your video because the host has stopped it.
Because the host has what?
They have stopped my video.
It stopped your video. Okay, let me play with that really quick. And welcome. All right, we're just getting set up here. We are doing June's Chamber Chat. All right, so Hugh right here. Okay, let me mute this. All right, so
Oh, you just made me host.
there we go.
So Hugh can hear us too?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. I couldn't see any other option, Hugh, other than that. So
Oh dear. Oh dear.
is that okay? Let me turn this.
Yeah. Hi there.
Oh, there we go.
Perfect. Yay! Okay, so we are.
So Hugh, you can hear us?
Yay.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
We already have
Hi.
Laura liking the
Hi,
video.
Nancy.
Hi, Hugh. Thanks for being on with us and helping us out with this new system here. We're
Oh,
always trying to upgrade.
It's a good system.
Yes, well, we appreciate that. Oh, so we're not on Facebook.
It is. It's under mine, and I just have to share it. So I'll
Yeah.
get it there now. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah, for those of you, well, they probably wouldn't even know then. The Facebook is streaming onto Shannon's right now because we have to add my the chamber on as authorized user. So we're going to then just live stream it and we'll share it when it is over. So at the end of the hour. So we'll add that onto ours. So anyway, today we were going to talk about, you know, kind of ways to monetize your membership with chambers, with other groups that you might belong to, and how to network successfully to make the most out of your time, to make sure that you're not spinning your wheels. You know, we do get some comments. You know, what is, I'm not sure the chamber did anything for me, or, you know, I didn't get much out of it. And then, you know, we have to ask, well, what events did you go to? What were you involved with? So a number of times right now,
sorry,
you know, I
I'm sharing it. Oh, come on. There we go.
You gotta love our technology. We're so good. So anyway, they, you know, but they didn't participate in anything. They didn't go to any event, and we can look and see, you know, what they've signed up for, and there's nothing. There's their membership fee, and they haven't done anything the entire year. So we really want to talk about how to make the most, and not just your chamber. I mean, I think most people that understand the value of networking and partnerships,
Home Builders Association, and I mean, there's so many associations that we're a part of.
Yes, and groups, you know, whether it's Women's Prosperity Network or American Business Women Association or Viera Means Business, or I mean, there's just a whole bunch. And you know, it's taking your time both to drive there, to network and be there, and then going from there. So when you look at it, nothing is ever just an hour meeting. It's never an hour just networking. You can be spending half of your day when you think of some of the events we go to. So, you know, it's making sure that you are going to get the most out of those events. So we want to talk about both, you know, the benefits of the chamber and these different organizations, and then how to make the most of it when you join. So,
yes. And do you have any announcements?
I do.
Do you want to save them till the end?
No.
We're changing the format a little bit?
No.
What, any celebrations? Let's start with celebrations, because you've had some incredible events lately.
Well, I have the best stuff.
You do have the greatest events ever.
Mine. No, well, no, I said staff, but events too.
Oh, you do? Oh, staff, yes.
Staff, yes. Well, one of the exciting things that I think was interesting for our chamber as well as our members, I got an invitation to the Governor's Mansion to have dinner. And so, you know, I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be a whole bunch of people in a room and whatever. But, you know, we thought, what an honor, you know, very excited. So I asked our chairman of our board of directors, Paneet Kapoor, if he wanted to go, and, you know, absolutely. So off we went, drove up to Tallahassee, and it was a room with 48 people in it. And the governor took a picture with each one of us and sent us the autograph picture back and actually had every one of us stand up and say, you know, our challenges or concerns or things, you know, I was talking about Brevard County, you know, to be able to have that one-on-one with the governor, he was actually listening and, you know, giving feedback, and was such an incredible experience. And I just thought, you know, this is great for our members, because when they share concerns with me, I'm able to bring them to the governor. I mean, talk about somebody who can make a difference.
Wow.
So that was very exciting. So that was just one of those, wow, I couldn't believe that happened. But one of the big things we have going on right now is for anybody that becomes a member of our chamber by August the 18th, they'll be included in our chamber guide. We are putting together, it's going to be about 96 pages. It's
a book.
Yes, it's a book. But there's going to be a digital version, both on our website, on the City of Palm Bay, and the City of West Melbourne's website. So talk about exposure.
Wow.
Anybody that buys an ad in it, so you don't have to be a member to buy an ad, but the price is better if you are a member. There'll be a link to your website right from that digital ad. And you know, everybody opens things on their phones and everything. So we want to make sure that this guide is mobile as well. So you'll also get, we're putting in a television in here. So it's going to have a, you know,
rotating ads.
Yes,
You're doing that.
Yes,
Oh,
we
yeah.
are doing that. So really, I mean, it starts as low as $350. It's for 10,000 copies. All this exposure on these websites, and you know, these copies are going to be distributed not just to people that are already living here, but a lot of people that come in and always
Tourists.
want to relocate, or
Yes,
tourists.
yes.
So huge benefit. So that's really exciting. So they have to have, you know, you'll automatically get a free listing if you're a member by August 18th. But if you want to have more exposure, like I said, the ads start as little as $350, and that's for all that exposure. So that's a really big thing we're doing. We have an after hours mingle tomorrow. That's at El Chico's.
Tomorrow already?
I know,
Oh,
I
wow.
know. I can't believe it's the 21st. I was thinking, okay, when's my blah, blah, blah due? I've got lots of weeks. And I went, no, really, I have a week and a half. So yeah. So after our mingle tomorrow, and then our Business Women of Brevard is going to be at Buena Vita Estate.
That was
And-
great. It's a great location.
Isn't it
Yes,
nice? Yeah. So they're cooking breakfast. This is going to be the first time with them. They're cooking breakfast, and we have Dr. Wanda Bonet. So she's going to be talking about kind of transformations. So I think that's going to be a very interesting one. It's open to men as well. So please, when we say Business Women of Brevard, men are more than welcome to come. And then we have our monthly membership luncheon with Sheriff Ivey. Wayne Ivey, he's a superstar. I mean, you can never be in an event and not be laughing. The guy just, I think he really thought, you know, he could be either a comedian or sheriff. You know what I mean? I mean, I've never been to an event where you just don't have a great time. And then we have another workshop, and that's with Richard and Sherry Martin doing developing online content. I think we all know that we need to put out videos, be on social media, and sometimes you just don't know what to put on there. So they're going to help with that. So those are the next things coming up until our next chamber chat.
On the 18th of next month.
18th
Are you
of next
doing
month.
this still?
That's the city, but yes, First Friday by the Bay. Unfortunately, with the weather, they had to cancel last month, but it's always the first Friday by the Bay at Celebration Square. So that's at the corner of US 1 and Port Malabar Road, and that goes from 5 to 10, free for everybody. And they're doing the fireworks for July 4th. They're having it, I think it's going to be Sunday the 2nd is when they're having it at Eastern Florida State College. It's where they've normally had it, and so free for the family. They have food trucks and everything, so that's a lot of fun. So that's what we have coming up in the next couple weeks. So
And you had your handbag?
oh, we had the hats, handbags, and horses. Everyone came with a hat, and all the guys had bow ties. It was so good.
Oh,
Yeah,
did you get
so
pictures?
We do,
Oh,
yeah. So
good.
check our Facebook page. It was fun. You know, we got talking so much that when the race went, it was kind of like, oh, we
There's
started
a
with
race.
that. Yeah, so go 2 minutes, that went real fast, you know, but it was really fun. That was a really nice event. So, but we have some other cool things coming up. So everyone stay tuned, because I've got one in the works right now that I think is going to be very informative for the whole business community. So,
Perfect.
okay.
And Hugh, thank you so much
Mhm.
for joining us today. Hugh is the sponsor. He's with Center Vision. Love to have you do a quick share, but I'm so glad that you're joining us on this call, because you deal with nonprofits, deal with organizations. I know you're a member of you've been the president of a chamber, is that correct?
I have. I was the PK of the Madeira Beach Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah,
Well,
that
so-
was many years ago. So I understand associations from the inside. I served mega churches for 40 years, so that's a membership organization as well. And people go to church and I don't get anything out of it. Well, what did you put into it? And as the president of the chamber, I was very active in community events, and the more active I was, the more energy came to me. And it's a reverse paradigm. The more you give away, the more comes back to you. And so Shannon and I belong to a business acceleration growth conference called CEO Space. And I stumble what to call it because it's a lot of things, but it's a way to give away, networking to give away. You ask people what they need and how you can help them. And it's really a reverse paradigm. A bunch of people start coming to you and say, what do you need? And so it's what Napoleon Hill discovered in all of his laws of success, the law of reciprocity. And if you're looking for something, you might just be running it away. So I've heard what you said, Nancy, before, and chambers are really important, vital member organizations for the businesses, the churches, and the charities in any community. And I commend you for this kind of event that you do to enable and empower and connect people in the community. So kudos to you.
She rocks. So do you mind, can he give a quick plug on him? I
Oh,
we're
please.
here because
yeah,
I want to
yeah.
share your website and just a little bit about you, or you can Google him. If you put in Forbes Hugh Ballou, BALLOU, you'll read an awesome article.
Yes, it's amazing.
Actually, all you have to do is put in Hugh Ballou and it comes up.
Oh, good. Okay.
Oh yeah, Hugh Ballou, and HughBallou.com is my new website. It's got a blog, got the podcast. I have 16,000 listeners on my podcast. 400 or 500 people come to the website every day. So there's lots of energy around people wanting to improve their ability to run their business or their charity. We tonight it's 7, and Shannon was on last week or week before. We have a live nonprofit chat, and we interview business leaders installing business principles into the charities that we run. So Nancy, as we develop our ability to run our business, those are the same skills the charities need. And the word nonprofit, we use it just as a nomenclature, but it kind of puts us into this negative thinking. So HughBallou.com, HughBallouPodcast.com, people can find me, and I have lots of resources, a lot of which are free, but lots of resources at every level of development to share with people. So you can find out at HughBallou.com, you can find a lot of stuff out.
That's terrific. Yesterday actually was a training up at the Brevard Zoo they had for nonprofits. So the board doctor had put it together and brought in some fabulous speakers. And I think one of them was amazing because she kept saying about the importance of joining a chamber of commerce. And I was the only one there from a chamber. So I was like, woohoo. But I think, you know, a lot of nonprofits don't realize the value of a chamber. And, you know, they have limited budgets. I came from one as well. But our price for a nonprofit is only $150.
Yes.
So I think we are the most inexpensive one in the county because I came from that world and I understand how important it is to network, and to spend that money, you will get so much back for that price. You know, you're getting the contacts of people that you would have to go out of your way to try and meet. Yes. You know, they're already coming to the event. Yes, they don't know you. You know, and cold calls are, we all know, the most
not fun.
No, you have to
gotta do them, but
yes,
still
psyching yourself up, and you have the fear of rejection. I mean, you know, there's a lot that goes into a cold call. However, if you're meeting them at the monthly luncheons, at the after hour mingles, it becomes more of a relationship that you have. And I mean, the old adage says we do business with somebody we know, like, and trust. And so if you've met them, you get to know them and you trust them. You know, we talked about this on another webinar before, you know, when I had that event, Walk a Mile in Their Shoes. To get men to walk in those high heel shoes, I mean, really, everybody thought it was a little
funny.
Well, yeah, 33 of them ended up doing it. And, you know, it just took them trusting me when I was saying, you will not, you know, have fun with this. You know, it's a great cause. It's important, but we want you to, you know, be engaged and get other guys to do this and make it more of a fun event. And really, those guys were phenomenal. And as a nonprofit, I never would have had those relationships if I hadn't been part of the chamber. And, you know, and the guys that said, yeah, I want to support you. I'll get involved with that. I know Jeannie Whitman from Achieve Beautiful Skin. She's looking for men. So I'm throwing this out to everybody listening to this. She's looking for men to model bras for, yes, it's for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And you can decorate your own bra. So if you want fishing lures on this, you can wear whatever you'd like on this bra. But it's to bring awareness to breast cancer awareness. Men get breast cancer as well. And so she's joined the chamber because she realized, you know, the value that we can help bring to her. To get it, because that's going to be a little tough sell, but you know, it's just getting her name out there and what she's trying to do. So that's just a little aside. But anyway, so getting back to the chambers and different organizations of value, like a chamber does give instant credibility. There is still that, you know, given to the chambers a sense of credibility that, you know, we're a recognized group. You know, we do have the national, the state Chamber of Commerce. We all have sort of guidelines that we try and follow. So you have this instant, you know, you're part of an organization, you know, and people call us. They do want to ask if they're chamber members, if there's going to be somebody that they're working with. Is there any complaints about them? We get that as well. So, you know, people do look to us as a resource. We are a community resource when somebody's looking to relocate or to do business with somebody. They call us for referrals all the time. That's one of the biggest resources, because they'll say, well, who do you trust? And that's a big one. You know, I have to give out our members and say, you know, look at this, we expect them to do this job. And so we are providing the referrals to not just members, but people that call and want to, like I said, do business with others. So that's sort of automatic. They also show that you'll get more business because people in the chamber will do business with you. You know, it's sort of that business to business that automatically happens. And not that we're trying to automatically sell another chamber partner. It's really their contacts. You're trying to make the relationship so that the other people in the chamber become like your salespeople. And their word of mouth, they're selling you, you know, like I get people calling me all the time and I said, oh, well, I would call so-and-so, they're phenomenal. And, you know, they know. And so it's that 6 degrees of separation. You know, your network expands by joining a chamber because they're all like little minions for you. You know, they're all your little salespeople to talk nicely about you and to help, you know, help expand your business. So that's a huge part of it. We also provide the opportunities to be able to do this networking. You know, like I said, you can go to so many different things, but if you know there's consistency, that somebody's going to show up, that you have access to city officials, you know, that come to our luncheon, or it might be at one of our big events or the mayor's breakfast, you know, you're going to see all the mayors. I mean, this really does help you in your business to get one-on-one with people that might be difficult.
Yeah, you would not normally have.
Yeah, there's the gatekeepers, and you know, try and get past them. So I think that's another big benefit of a Chamber of Commerce. And then, you know, we have a packet that, geez, if you took advantage of everything, just using one of the discounted advertising vehicles, some of them are even free. A free page ad, it would be more than what you would charge for the ad for your membership. So there's thousands of dollars worth of advertising that we put in our packet. We want to make sure that
a good start.
Yeah, that a small business, because sometimes they're intimidated too. So, you know, if you can call up and, you know, Hometown News is going to put in an ad for you, and they'll give you a discount if you want to do a couple. Right away, you're going to be listed on everythingbrevard.com. They get, I think it was 12 million hits she had last year. They're on, track to get 16 million. That's another free benefit you get for being part of our chamber. So not only are you on our website, you're on theirs. There's the listing that, hold on. Yeah, no, we did change that. So, well, you know, we try things sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't always work out. So, but I want to provide more value for our members. So I'm always looking to do partnerships. I think that's something we discussed. So, but I think getting 16 million views on a website, in addition to the thousands that we get every month, it really does give exposure to your business. That's part of what marketing is all about. So.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you brought that up, because it makes me go, okay, here I am where I have this incredible membership, association that I'm a part of,
Yes.
and I have not taken advantage of that welcome packet. That welcome packet
Oh, have
and
you?
all that's in there, that was worth the investment beyond.
Yes.
So Hugh, did you take advantage of your stuff in the welcome packet?
No.
Put you on the spot?
It sure is a nice day today.
So this is a common thing with associations, and some of it's
Yes.
because we might spread ourselves really thin.
Yes. Yeah.
Some of it's we're busy, but one of the things I know that when we look at being involved in an association is really taking that time to plan and
Yes.
schedule things, just like you would schedule with a doctor or a client. Schedule time to build and work that relationship with the chamber. I mean, I was just on a call yesterday, and somebody was saying, well, at the chamber we can post things, and they hadn't done it. So it's like
Right.
we have all of these
Right.
benefits, and scheduling it to where it's in our marketing plan, and that it's something that we see as a investment in our
Right.
business.
Right. And I think that's probably the biggest thing is people take the packet and they say, oh yes, I have the packet. They just haven't opened the packet.
Well, I looked through
So-
it. I
Oh,
saw it. I was
okay.
really like, wow, this is great. And then I put it, I know right where it is.
On the
even.
desk,
Yes.
right? Okay, yeah, in the corner of the desk or far away under chamber. That's okay.
It becomes credenza-ware.
Yes, yes. It's a very nice folder, though. I just have to say,
It is,
it's a
it's-
pretty
yes.
folder. But we do more than that. I mean, you have your own page, so you can add in if you're looking for a new employee, if you have a special that you want to put out there. People don't even put their logo on. They can put their logo on their page.
Wow.
They can put pictures on there. So
Pen
everybody.
and write this down. I'm like, this is stuff I
I've
missed.
done all of this.
Okay, well then, so Hugh's page is beautiful. Most people have not done this. And I think sometimes too, we need to let them know that they really can utilize their membership a lot more than just showing up to events. We help market their events. So whether that's they send us an email with a flyer if they have an upcoming event, we'll put that in our weekly chamber intel. So that goes out to a couple thousand people. So more exposure. You can put that on your page as well. We also have links. So if let's say there's a press release, we'll put that out and it'll have the link to the full press release that they can read. We also will help you one-on-one. I mean, I get a lot of people that come in and, they're looking for some advice and tips with marketing or sales. And I'm not saying I'm the be all end all, but I will sit down and take the time and go over with people and, or connect them with the right people. I mean, Shannon is such a fabulous resource. So is Hugh.
Yeah.
So,
And you have a pool of mentors and stuff that that you pull from.
So it's not like you're just getting one person or the one chamber. You're getting all the partners that are part of this that are, that are willing to give. And that was one of the things with our Business Women of Brevard group. Remember, we are trying to get together the list of all the women that want to be referral resources. So that if you have a question, we're not saying, okay, hey, redo my entire marketing plan. But, if you had a question, okay, what do you think about this? Or what's your experience when you're doing events? What's the best day to choose or the best time? There'll be a resource list that they can call these ladies and men and just get the input. And it's just people that are willing to take the time, and like I said, it would be limited to a half an hour maybe, but talk about a great resource. I mean, because sometimes you're intimidated and you don't know who to call. We want to make things simple for people. And like I said, provide as much value as we can.
So that shows me the number. So if number one was scheduling, is probably number one is getting an inventory of the assets that the association provides.
Yes.
Finding out what, making a list of what is it that I get.
We have it in.
And you have it right here.
Yeah, it's in their packet. They get that. Well, see, once again, you have to open the packet. It tells you, yes, look at this. Everything that's included. Yes, we have a whole page of stuff.
And assess the inventory and schedule the inventory, because this is
Yes.
pretty, oh my goodness, I just have to flash this again, because this is, Look at this. And you said it was 150 for a nonprofit?
For a nonprofit, yes. Plus the first time is the $25 processing fee. So really for $175 for a nonprofit or a home-based business. If they're a brick and mortar, we start at $300, and it does vary by member or employees. But seriously, it is the best value, I think, for your money. And I used to belong to 3 different chambers when I didn't work for one. I just saw the value in it, the connections that I made, the people that I was able to call, knowing what was going on. Because part of the chamber benefit is that there's a lot that happens within the county, within the state, and nationally. And you don't have the time when you're running your business to hear everything, to
Yes.
read everything, to go to every county commission meeting. And so what happens is we get the information and are able to distribute that out through our mailer list. Like I said, when we have our weekly chamber intel, we put on updates from the Economic Development Council. We really do try and get information out to our members that are important. And we're not taking a stand on things necessarily. We are informing the public. And I think that's really important, that members understand that there's some business regulations and rules that could be in the works that they may want to get more engaged on. It could absolutely seriously affect their business.
And even stay compliant in business too. There's a few things to
Yes.
say. So you mentioned the chamber intel. How do people access that? Because it's not only for members, it's for anybody, even, you know, if
Yes.
Hugh's not in this area, anybody that's
You should be getting it. So all of our members get the weekly chamber intel. If they're not a member, they can call us or email us, and we will include their email into the list. So that goes out to anybody that you know, we have on our email list. So you're right, they don't have to be a
Do you want
member.
to share your number in case there's other people that are seeing this?
Oh,
that
sure. Actually, if
an
they
email?
Yeah, probably the easiest one is info@greaterpalmbaychamber.com. So it's a long one, but info@greaterpalmbaychamber.com, or they can call 321-951-9998. And we'll get them out.
Nancy, I wanted to piggyback on what you were saying a minute ago about building relationships. It's cumulative over time. And we have an organization, whether it's a church, a charity, synagogue, or a business. We exist because we bring value to people, and we generate revenue because we bring value to people. And today's world, especially, we don't operate in a vacuum. And what I have found with the Deer Beach Chamber, the St. Pete Chamber, the other chambers and other places where I'd lived, and then locally, I'm real active in my Rotary. I find that the relationships are cumulative. People think of you. You show up and you think of people that you've seen in the last 30 days. You also, like you mentioned before, you do business with people whom you trust and whom you know. And so we try to we join the chamber, we want to make sales, and we hammer people on what we got. That doesn't work. If we join the chamber, we go in and we go to events, we're helpful, we relate to people, we build relationships, we invite people for coffee, just get to know them. Over time, when those people need something and they know us and they know the value that we bring, they're going to come back to us, or they're going to refer us. So every person that we meet and we talk to has a Rolodex of several hundred people they know. And so we got mental capital. What do we offer? What do we do? What do we share? We've got financial capital, which we need to, it's gas for the car. We got to put money in the bank. Well, in the middle of that is relationship capital. And the chamber is a great place for people to gather and build relationship. I just wanted to piggyback from my experience and the value of showing up, not just being there, but showing up as a full person. And then in this reciprocity of what can I do for you, it's really amazing. Shannon, would you say over time that scenario has worked for us?
Yes, absolutely. And I just want to comment that you joined the chamber and you're out of state.
Right.
So,
Right.
Sharing how you've engaged, and do you mind sharing why you see value of that? And I know you're actually doing a lot of stuff in this area now.
Yeah, I do whatever Shannon tells me.
Yeah, I would too. She's phenomenal.
Well, I've been a supporter of Shannon's Business Acceleration Summit. That's another place where I've created amazing relationships. I've been to the Palm Bay Chamber, actually spoken with your board. We've talked about board capacity building, just a very limited, and I still come back. I do come to Shannon's events, and I do events in Vero and Melbourne and Orlando for Cinevision Leadership Foundation. And I have business people and charities and clergy show up just to learn the fundamentals. And I pretty much do a data dump of what I learned in last 31 years of doing this. And I find that a lot of people are compromised by what they don't know, and they don't know where to get answers. So like you said, Nancy, there are people in the chamber who have resources. And I find that people generally are really, in an association like that, are really eager to help. And it just means building a relationship and having a meaningful conversation about it. So I joined because I'm coming to the area, wanted to be active, and wanted to get to know people more. So that was that the question?
Yes, that was perfect.
That was perfect. Well, and I think maybe this is when we can talk about objectives and going to events.
Yes.
Because, you know, a lot of people just whip in there and they've got it on their calendar. So, and I was always, this is one of my downfalls, not getting to a place early. Because when you go when it's supposed to start, you missed really the meat of it is, yes, that's the important part.
I had a friend that said you need to show up 45 minutes before the event begins.
Right.
And offer to help.
Yes.
I mean, it's
yes, that's where you make great connections. I think of Tommy from AJ Hires, Boniface Hires. He comes and always asks, what can I do to help? He'll take pictures of the buffet, you know, and all the food at the luncheon, and he sends it out. I mean, but he's, you know, Alan, a lot of these guys that know how to network, they get there early all the time, and they have a plan. So just going, woo, you know, wow, what's going to happen today is not necessarily the smartest things to do when, like we talked about, the fact that you could be spending hours at one networking event. So you need to be strategic. So I've heard, you know, some sort of different tips and tricks. Coming early, planning, you're not going to meet the entire room. You're never going to. That's not the best idea, and you don't want to card bomb everybody. So, you know, coming though with a plan. So whether it's, okay, I need to meet an air conditioner repair person. So having that in your head, you know, or I need to meet, you know, the key person from Health First, whatever your objective is, and have 3 of those. And so when you go, you're already focused. You know, rather than, oh, that looks like a nice person, let me go talk to them. And I'm not saying not to do that. But if you have an idea, then you definitely will follow that plan. So one person told me that they sort of have they always have an outfit with pockets. So one pocket is their business card, one pocket is the other people, and they put it in order of who to follow up, to make sure that they're following up and that it's top of mind. So when they get back, you know, part of it is you can meet a ton of people, you can get a ton of business cards, and if you don't follow up, that was for naught, you know.
Guilty of that.
Fortune in the follow-up, we always talk about that too. So really planning an event like you would anything else. So who you want to meet, who's important, who you think that you're able to connect somebody else with. Because like you said, it's not about me, it's how can I give as well. And I think when you come with that mindset, you're much more productive and successful. And then to do the follow-up, so making the time when you come back, that could be part of your calendar. If you know that you're going to an event the next day or that afternoon, you block out to reach, to spend the time to follow up with the business cards or make the call, or if somebody was giving you somebody to connect with. Very few people do that. I mean, I have to say I'm pretty guilty with not doing that very often either. But I know when I see how successful some salespeople are, they're awesome because they have a system and it's numbers, and they just are methodical and follow that system. Deb Foley's one that's, you know, with the Brevard Public Schools. She's awesome. She just has a system. She knows who she's going to talk to, what she wants to talk about, and she just follows that plan. She's gotten them hundreds of thousands of dollars for that school every year. Like, I'm sure it's even more than, I'm sure it's in the millions now. But no, but she's phenomenal because she works her plan, and she's always thinking how she can partner people together. She really is. That's her mindset. And when you find somebody like that and you know it's genuine and they really are looking to make these connections, you kind of gravitate to them. I mean, that's what you look for. So, yeah.
You guys, Shannon's been a guest on both of my podcast, excuse me, both of my podcasts, but the one called Orchestrating Success, you go to hughballoopodcast.com. I interviewed, and you might know her, Shannon, Kelly Holmes, Team Referral Network. The whole podcast is on how to network.
Oh, wow.
And it's more supporting information that you were just talking about, Hugh Ballou Podcast. I'll have that episode up later today. It's on iTunes, Stitcher, so people can download it on their phone. I find that the people who are most successful follow up right away.
Yeah.
Because that's the hot lead and it cools off. Whew. And if you wait two, 3 weeks, they might not even remember the conversation.
Right, right. No, that's very true. And, you know, I think too, patience is a virtue, as they say, because a lot of people think, well, as soon as you meet somebody, then this is going to happen and, you know, the success is in the bag. And it's really building a relationship. You're building it over time, and it's not going to happen, you know, very rarely does it, you know, on the first time meeting somebody, you're ever going to, you know, I mean, we think about that. I think about how many people right from the get-go, you just had that connection. I mean, they're limited of when that ever happens. And so taking your time, I think also when you're at a networking thing, is a lot of people don't know what to say. I mean, they don't even know how to start the conversation.
The elevator pitch,
Yeah, well,
or the
but
connection.
And sometimes giving your pitch just sounds like, oh my God, what are they trying to say?
Yes.
You know what I mean? But you can start off with a hello, and you can talk about maybe a current event or compliment them on, you know, something they might be wearing or something, you know, that they've done or some success. I mean, it can be just a regular conversation, just having
friends and family, occupation, recreation. What do you do for fun? And then you can find out their motivation.
Yes. See, there you go, little acronym. Remember that one? Because those are things that are easy to talk about, especially if you're an introvert. Because that's what people say, you know, I'm a real introvert, and going into a room full of strangers is like the worst thing ever for them. And I hope one of the things from our chamber is that you would never feel that way. You know, we try and make sure if there's anybody there, you know, that we connect them with somebody, that we don't leave them alone. It's not like we're, you know, we don't want them wandering, but you know, we want them to feel comfortable. You don't want them to think, oh man, that was the worst experience. Nobody spoke with me. That was a waste of my time. So just asking those questions, and then you'll get around to business. Yes. You know what I mean? But sometimes when you start off with your pitch, hi, I'm blah 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 with that, and you're like, Jesus Murphy, like, okay.
But if they ask, yes, being ready, you know, if they say, what do you do,
you
or
always have to be ready.
What are you up to?
Always be ready.
Yeah.
Yes. Remember Craig Doswald? So he's the rock star marketer, and he, you know, Axl Rose's manager and toured with Air Supply and stuff. But he wrote a book, and he said he never really would go in there, and he never had business cards, and didn't always go on about what he did. He would always ask people first. Always, you know, what's your business? You know, what are you looking for? Kind of how you could help. And then they would absolutely turn around and say, you know, what do you do?
Yes.
And so he would pull out this book and give them the book, and they were all like, you're giving me a book, you know, like, and then you feel more of a need to read it because somebody gave it to you. It's like when you gave me your book with your media strategy. I mean, I was like, man, Shannon wrote a book, and you know, and she signed it for me. But I mean, those are the things that people then remember, and it makes you stand out. And it's not that pushy sales, because people will naturally, unless you're totally narcissistic, will naturally ask you, yes, you know, like, what do you do? And so
the other thing that you brought up that makes an organization or chamber great is I know that it's not instant success, but when you're introduced by somebody else, that, like, if Nancy says you need to meet this person, I'm going to stop and pay attention and want to know who it is.
Right.
So it can actually expedite that process when we start connecting people at events that we know. So it does build that credibility a little bit quicker. Would you agree?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I think that's one of the things, because you get to know the person, then you trust the source and who they're referring you to. So yeah, that definitely makes a difference. I also think too, when you're planning your strategy, you need to plan an exit strategy, because you don't want to be stuck talking to one person the entire time if, you know, you had a mission of people that you wanted to interact with. Sometimes we get in a comfort zone, or we get in an uncomfort zone, and we don't know how to extricate ourselves from that conversation. So knowing, you know, getting a few phrases like, you know, oh, you have a wealth of information, I don't want to tie up all your time, you know, I'll let you be able to meet other people, you know, things that you can say that you can casually then be able to get away from the conversation or move on to somebody else. Because at a networking function, like I said, the more that you meet, the more likely your goals are going to be met. And so maybe that one person is your be all end all, but they might be thinking, man, this person is really hogging my time.
Yeah, I'm here to meet other people.
Right. So that's when you go, oh, you know, would it be okay if we met at a such and such date, or if I follow up and we set a time to meet one-on-one? Making one-on-ones is one of the key strategies. A lot of people never think to do that, or it's not sort of their comfort, but that's when you really get to know somebody. When you meet for just coffee and you just talk about everything other than all your business, you know, but you really get a relationship, and you have the time. Because I always say to people, oh man, I'm always running events, I never get a time to just chat. So when you talked about the hats and handbags, yeah, I was running that, and horses. I was running the event, but it really was one of those nice events that was calm. We had lots of time. We could sit and talk and have this very nice time. And Nora said to me, that was one of her favorite events she'd ever been at. And I went, what? And she goes, yeah, it was just so, you know, everybody got a chance to talk and kind of know each other. And it was so nice and you know, fun. And so I think sometimes that's the thing. We get so enmeshed in go, you know, rather than just kind of, okay, then let's kind of sit back and really talk and be casual and not be pushing everything, and taking the time, like I said, to do the one-on-ones where you are in that comfort zone where you're able to kind of get to know somebody a little better. So those are really important.
That's when I fell in love with Hugh, when he did a one-on-one with me.
Really?
Yes. I was looking at taking over a nonprofit, and he was so generous, sharing things that I feel like just saved me. I mean, it was wonderful, my experience of that, but Hugh just broadened my horizon, and I was like, oh my God, he just gifted me so much. What can I do for him?
Well,
you know,
yes. Well, and one huge tip is that if you are at a function that has alcohol, to not get drunk. You know, one of the worst unprofessional things is when you see somebody and they are a little tipsy, and sometimes you tend to say the things that you never should be saying. I mean, it's just kind of, I mean, I think that's sort of an obvious, but I've seen it happen, and you're like, oh, that's not a good thing. That's not a, you know, professionally, it's not a good rep for your reputation. And, you know, it's kind of saving face after that. You know, how do you, you know, the next meeting, you're kind of, yeah, it's awkward. So yeah, moderation with everything.
Yeah, I actually had somebody come up to me and say, I just can't do business with somebody that drinks that much. I was like, wow. So I've seen that firsthand.
Yeah, because it's, I mean, then you question, you know, their professionalism. And, you know, if you are entrusting them to work with you, are they going to come through? And I mean, it's amazing all the things that we'll read into
just drinking, but it does. It goes down. And some people are sensitive because maybe passed with alcohol, whatever it might be. So you do want to be very mindful.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That's very important.
So anything else that you think is important? I love that we do webinars, because I don't know if a lot of people realize this, that this is an event. We did have somebody in the chat room say, Keith Leon can write a book. Oh yes, Keith Leon, the book guy. Okay. Brian, can you say your name and who you're with? But I consider this an event that people can come in their pajamas. You can be like this so that they don't see what you're.
That's right. Yeah, we're kind of standing tall, but yes, you might not have pants on.
No. and for this, coming prepared with sharing who you are and what you're up to, and interacting, because this is, I know you, Nancy, are so incredible about shout outs and thank yous and acknowledging the members. So if you are busy, looking at what events are going to best serve that purpose, because I know we can't always go to everything.
No. And I think, one of the reasons that we looked at doing a chamber chat was that you can be at home and you can, a lot of people have said to us, oh, I check my emails and that, and I'll listen to you guys. And then when something perks my, I really pay attention then. And that's great, because we do tend to multitask, and this saves you the driving time. It's 1 hour. You can actually look at it on our Facebook page afterwards.
And YouTube channel.
YouTube channel. So, it really is convenient. And I think one of the things we're looking at is that for the next generation, they're not interested in all those meetings. They're not, they don't want to spend the time to drive to a meeting. Some of them don't even drive, which floors me, but whatever. But yeah,
Uber.
Yeah, they'll get their
Uber.
Uber.
We're not going to have cars in the future, somebody said. They're like, we're not
I
going
want
to be
a
Ubering.
car. I just want it self-driving. So it's just almost like, geez, can you just drive me
Tesla.
to? Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. But no, so, we have to make sure that it's a value, that it's succinct, and, that we're not wasting people's time. They're obviously still going to have to do one-on-ones, because you don't have the same relationship.
Yeah, to go deep.
When you're, I have how many thousand on Facebook and LinkedIn and stuff like that, but how many I really know? No. It's those one-on-one relationships, because you can write anything in your profile, and we always have the best pictures and the whatever, Photoshop looks great, but when you really know somebody, you've got to go to those face-to-face events.
So one of the things, bringing home the membership and association things that you can do, is attend each event. And I always say attend at least once or twice.
Yes.
Or I'm sorry, 2 or 3 times, because one time somebody could be off, somebody's date, you just never know what's going on. And so I tell my kids this all the time. I'm like, you need to at least have 3 bites.
Right.
Because
yes, before you go, ick, I don't want it.
Yeah. So I think with events, it's important to go back a couple of times, if not a few times, and really see, and at the chamber, see which one you connect with and which one spoke to your heart, and engage fully. Engage fully.
Right. Yeah, I always tell people, I'm not a huge pusher of join us now. I always say, come to our events, see if we're fit for you. We might not be. Just sometimes you're not the right fit for a certain business, but or a certain person, and that's okay. But you need to come to, like you say, 2 to 3 different times, because sometimes I've joined some, because the first one, everybody, rah, that was fantastic. You get all sucked up with it. And then the next one, you're like, okay, did they get unplugged or something?
Yeah.
The energy was different. The people were different. It was, so I think.
I never thought of the reversed.
Oh,
isn't that funny? I always thought of you could go and it's because I have teenagers, and I'm always trying to convince them to go to church and do certain things.
Sure, yes, okay, yes, being a good mom.
Yes. So you're right. It could be really an incredible experience, and then something happened. Yeah.
Right. And it was just a one up, so for both ways, for good and bad, I think that you need to go a few times to check it out, to see if it will work for you, and to find out. You can't go to everything on a calendar. I look at our calendar, and you would be like a chamber employee if you went to everything that we offer. So you have to be strategic with what you think will best suit your business and be the most productive. So that's, I think, something that we send out our calendar. We actually even have into July right now. Take the time. Once again, it's all about planning and taking the time. You look at the events and schedule them in for what is going to work with your schedule. Because once you have it in there, then you're most likely to do it, and you work around that. Then if it's important, then you will schedule other meetings or appointments around what you've already got planned. So are there a couple of people? I know you were trying to look at live here.
Sports chiropractic, health and rehab.
Okay.
Oh, and my husband. Yes.
Ari, yes, thank you, Ari.
He says, it's Hugh Ballou. Great tips. Sports chiropractic, health and rehab. Bert Oliva, he is an incredible human potential. Great information as always. Keep making it happen. That's his tagline.
Okay. Oh, very good.
Yeah. And it looks so much better than our.
Oh yes, we used to turn the phone sideways and have
multiple things going at the same time.
Yes.
Here we're recording Facebook Live and
trying to
I just did a plug for Rock Paper Simple.
Okay.
Right, awesome.
I'll
do a plug for the Greater Palm Bay Chamber
Oh,
of Commerce. You
yes!
get one of these if you join. Very nice looking business
I
cards.
need one of
That's another
those.
really good tip for networking, because you will never not have your phone with you, and you just pull out your card and hand it to them, and you can put theirs in behind and yours in the front. So yeah, join the chamber, you get one of these. No, but these, I mean, this really is something that I swear by. I just think it is the most wonderful tool to have with you for business cards and keeping track of things, so that you'll always have it with you. I always have my phone, you know.
I'm going to talk about one more thing with membership. I know we're getting to the end, but I had somebody yesterday who called and was sharing that she noticed in herself that she has a habit when she gets overwhelmed wanting to quit things before they finish. And I imagine that happens with the chamber too, where people are engaged and then either they get busy, but they quit before the time is up. So it's like really making that commitment.
Right.
And when we make that commitment, stepping into it fully until the end.
Right. Yeah, I think Jeff Guadalupe from B2B,
Yes.
you know, always said that if this is important to you, you put it on your calendar and you show up, and you can always make an appointment around it.
Yes.
And people seem to think, oh, well, this is my one shot, I can't. And, you know, I mean, sometimes the work does happen and you just can't miss it. But when people are consistently not coming to things and making, you know, scheduling other things during that time and not making the commitment, yeah, you don't get the full value.
Yeah.
And it really is important, I think, to make that commitment when you say you're going to.
Yes. And there's this concept, and Hugh's familiar with this, about being 3 feet from gold, and how often we quit just before we're getting ready to meet that key person, have that. And believe me, I've thought about quitting all kinds of things.
I get it.
And but and it's so true. It's like you get so close, and so just keeping it, you know, keep going until.
Yeah.
Well, part of what y'all are describing ought to be in anybody's business strategy. There's a marketing piece of your strategic plan, which sometimes becomes credenzaware too. But what are we doing? You know, what are we doing to market ourselves? And one of the best things we can do is relationship marketing. Be out there, and networking and relationship marketing are a little different, but you know, be out there and make connections. And that's part of your overall marketing plan. One thing doesn't work by itself as well as when you compound things together. And the reason Shannon is building her attendance at her summit is because she uses lots of channels to promote it, and she brings in good people.
Right.
So I'm pleased to be a part of that.
Yeah, absolutely. So when's your next summit?
September 28th, 29th, and 30th.
And where are you having it?
We are in limbo at this moment.
Negotiation. Okay.
Yes,
Okay. No, that's
that's
all
a
right.
great way to put it. We're in negotiations right now.
Okay, perfect. Well,
So-
tell them a little.
I wanted to add one more thing about members and associations.
Okay.
Is that okay? But I will plug my website, because I know you're going to say, what's your website? businessaccelerationsummit.com.
Okay.
And Rock Paper Simple is going to be rebranding and redoing. We're going through their whole branding process now, which I'm so excited.
John, he's awesome.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's a company that seriously will put the whole package together.
Yeah.
You know,
They even do content creation now.
Oh, wow.
So for your websites and everything.
Wow.
So one of the things was when you know, there's obviously the things that when you join the association and the membership, but then there's add-ons that I was really surprised when I sat down with Nancy and I looked at some of your trustee opportunities, some of your sponsorship opportunities, and I found that with associations and membership organizations that even compared to like my event, the summit, you can get a lot more bang for your buck.
Yes.
With you know, I think like yours was $1,500 for the year, and I looked at your marketing plan and I go, who needs another marketing budget? I mean, I know obviously you need more, but there was so many things. So with it, look at your membership, but also look at what else are they offering that you can build into your business and build into your plan. Because when you become a part of something in a greater way, there's even more magic that can happen.
Well, yeah, the trustees, as you say, they start at $1,500. And so with our trustees, I mean, they're on everything. They're on
I
our
know, I
website.
know.
They're on our
Every event, you
chamber.
mention their
Yes,
names, you do
yes,
their logos.
we do. They're
Oh.
on our monthly lunch or PowerPoint on any program that we put out. It always has all our trustees on it. It's on our letterhead. So any official letter we send out has all our trustees on it. I mean, literally, they just get so much bang for their buck, and they get marketing dollars to be able to use towards our events. So if a trustee is out of the question, we have sponsorships, as you were talking about. So whether you want to sponsor a chamber chat, like Pitt Printing did last year. So every time we did a chamber chat, we would talk about Pitt Printing. Whether you want to sponsor our Business Women of Brevard, or one of our monthly luncheons, or Mingle.
You have every budget from $25
yes,
to, you know.
yes,
Yes.
yes. Even to have your logo on our website is really inexpensive, and it's, you know, it's for a couple months. I mean, it really, you can, as you say, get a lot of marketing leverage from using your chamber
Chambers,
membership. Absolutely. Yeah,
And other associations. And I find
Yes.
that anything that we're involved in,
absolutely.
it's great to ask that question of what else do you have that I should at least look
Right. I know. We're really bad sometimes that we sell a membership and don't talk about the benefits of being more engaged and involved. And so I actually had JAG Financial. So Joe reached out to me. He goes, well, how do you get to be a trustee? And I thought, this is really sad that I have never shared to our members about being trustees. And he's asking me. And I thought, wow, okay. So yes, I appreciate this opportunity to be able to talk about
Yeah, I
that,
think
because
it's a key thing.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It's just much more value for your membership, and it's that prestige of
Perfectly imperfect.
yes, of so much more exposure, and showing that you really are a committed and you know, good partner with a chamber. So yeah.
So should we ask Hugh if he has any closing remarks?
Certainly, that would be very nice, Sir Baloo.
Hey there. This is very, these are things we think about all the time, but do we actually get out the door and do them? And I was just making a couple of notes here, because when I listen to really good content, it makes me think of other things that I ought to be thinking of. So part of what I find to be helpful, and I work a lot by myself, so getting out and getting in groups and learning things from other people. We learn from other people and we discover things. So I think if we think we know it all, we're dangerous. And so getting out there and finding, A, other people have some of the similar issues you do. B, they might have the complement to what you're struggling with. And C, there might be some synergies with collaborative enterprise. So I find, I was just making some notes because you triggered a lot of things for my future podcast. So I get ideas. So you get ideas listening to people talk, and if I don't write them down, they're gone. So being out there and being engaged is so critical to growing any kind of enterprise.
Right. Yeah. Thank
Absolutely.
you, Hugh, and thank you for sponsoring Zoom and all that you do.
Yay, we appreciate that. Yes, thank you, Hugh. So I think we are, 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Oh, well, a minute. Oh, boy. So one more thing with networking. Be yourself. Smile, relax, share your passion. You know, everybody is comfortable when they talk about something they're passionate. And it doesn't have to be anything related to your business.
Work at all,
But
yep.
yes, if you have that passion, people will want to know more about it. Ask easy questions. They don't have to be, you know, so how are we going to end world hunger? You know, it might be a little difficult. You know, just you know, don't sit there and, you know, like also be 21 questions, you know, so tell me about that. Oh, how many kids do you have? You know, just be yourself, and you'll find that people will respond. And, you know, that's what you're looking for, is to build that relationship. And, you know, just having good relationships will absolutely translate into a better business, without a doubt. I can say that without any doubt or hesitation. The people that you get to know and connect with will always be there to assist you. And that's all you can look for, you know, and I think that's what makes a really successful business and actually life, because I look at the people that I've met through the chamber that have become my friends, and, you know, I never would have met them if it hadn't been at the chamber, and you take a chance and say hello and get to know people. So
Yay.
You
rock.
Oh,
She
you
throws
do
the
too.
best event.
Well, thank you, Shannon. So that is I think our edition this month for June for Chamber Chat. So look for us next month. So that is going to be July, just so I have the date right, July 18th.
2
Yes,
p.m.
2 p.m.
Same time, same
bad,
channel.
Joe.
They'll be able to go to Greater Palm Bay
Chamberofcommerce.com. Yes.
And we now have the system that once you register one time, you will get reminders ongoing. So,
Oh, that's
yes,
awesome.
Yes.
Thank you. This is great. We appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Okay,
All right, bye for now. All right, I'm